Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over the Clash tournament teams. Now, I'm not going to make this a long video, I'm just going to do it as I would do it without recording. So first off, I'm going to start with Arcanis. Arcanis, I think, are the best units in this season, so we're going to split them into a few teams, as in the few members you want to run together, such as Behemoth and Astrid. Then you have Mavis, you have Yingzheng, Janna, Hela, and then we will feed the slot with Althea. And then we will go back in here, and since we have Astrid in here, we have few monarchs. We're going to do this, and then we will fill the last slot with third monarch, which is going to be the twins. And basically this is entire team already done. We will change this to be, I'm not really sure, I think I want more holy shields on this team, which is this one. Yeah, as for the relics, we will just do relics later, but in the team 2 we have the 5 Avengers for Arcanis. For the relics, we already know which relics. I want the Zephyr Sphere because it increases the attack, and the attack additionally increases the damage from the Magatama. And then we want, since there is no Avenger relic that increases the attack, we will just go with Hand of Tears because it's like a throwaway relic. We will use the Avenger scaling because we want as much attack as possible. So that's basically team 2 done. Team 1 just missing a few relics. Then we're going into the team 3, and in the team 3 we can run some sort of Odin version of Dooms, because this team really does work well in the tournament. It's this, yeah. This is basically some version of Phantom Odin Dooms. It's actually, I'm missing a Celestial. Let me fix that. I think I want to run Cleo instead of Marlena then. And yeah, 4 Dooms, 2 Celestials, that's pretty much it. We will go with Cleopatra in the front row and Snow White in here. Yeah, I think this will be the team, but basically 5 Arcanis, 4 Dooms, also reliant on the revives. We will go with the Doom relics for them, just some cheap throwaway Doom relics, nothing really important in my opinion, and we will go with the, not this, but the Doom, but the relic increase damage and the stun. Yeah, exactly, stun for this synergy, and yeah, that's pretty much it really. This team should do okayish. Now, since we're done with the Arcanis, let's start off with Mystifiers. First off, we're going to make 2 Mystifiers team, I think, maybe actually just 1. Actually, I will go with this version. Yeah, so for 4 Monarchs, 4 Mystifiers, just for the survival, and then the rest of the Mystifiers will deal damage with the synergy, and then we're going to use Emily in here actually. Where is she? She's enchanter, right? And yeah, basically this is going to be the team. I'm going to have Tiamat in position 1, Catherine in position 2, and then we are going to use the Mystifier relics because we don't really like them in any other team anyway. We're going to use the boat in here, and then we're going to run this and the bow site. Yeah, basically this will be the team. What do we have here? No, we don't like this. We will use the Mystifiers one, and then in this team we will use the stun, because this team needs a little bit more boost from the relics unlike the previous team, so we will use the normal relics and we will use the stun relic, so we have a bit of advantage going first. And yeah, that's about it. The 2 Mystifier teams are done. Now we're going to move the Valiantors. Valiantors are pretty easy synergy to fit in my opinion. They're really good and they're really easy to play around, so basically just this team, and then we're missing a Celestial, or you can also use Audrey if you want to play with Monarchs. It's completely fine, whichever you prefer. If you need survival, you can use Audrey. If not, you can use either of the Wu Zetian or Shang. You can also pair them with the Jormungandr, but she's the 4 deviant and you really want Celestials. So I'm going to go with the Shang, and then I'm going to use Hades in position 1, Leandra in here, and basically do this positioning. For the relics, we're going to use the Valiantors relic, and since I don't really have a free relic that is really good for them, I'm going to go with the Crown, or rather with the Thunderbelt, with the mirror, or rather with the Kusanagi, and then we're going to finish it with the X. And we're going to use the Valiantor's increase attack, and that's basically it. Now we are going to make Gudora team, basically going around these three, or Bahamut as well, we can use her, and then we are going to use Gudora and Elisha in different positioning. And this is 3 deviants, 2 celestials, 2 monarchs. If you want more monarchs, you can swap out Bahamut for the Audrey or Talanis. Both really do the job and they're both great. I'm going to go with Audrey for now, but maybe later I will switch it up to the Talanis. As for the relics, we want to use the banner in my opinion, because they really do lack survival, and then we will use the cauldron, and for the other we will use the mauve. I think mauve is really good with them, but outside of them it's not that good. We will use the ethereals increase because we want to play around the Gudora, and that's basically it. Now we're going to play around dooms. The new 6 dooms I think are broken, and I think this is their team. I think this is the new doom team. I'm not really sure, but I really like this team. It's 3 strikers, 2 deviants, 2 celestials. And you can play around Dahlia and Arthur swapping while you keep Ayushta and Leviathan in the backline as carries. You can also swap in Ophelia if you want, but I think this team is really good. You will obviously want to use the Lance relic with the new Ayushta into the stun, into the confuse, because, or rather the scales, because it has confuse mechanic, which also has the new Ayushta. So basically this team is really good in my opinion. You want to use the Doom's artifact, and yeah, that's about it. We can also create another Doom team with the Ophelia Lamia and play around Elohim, as well with Seraphina. But this team is basically around Sanctuary proccing and defense increasing. It might die because it lacks monarchs. That's often the issue with the Lamia team in my opinion. But we're going to try it for fun in this tournament and see how it does. We will obviously want to use the Doom Relic, which has the Sanctuary. Obviously we run out of the Doom Relics because I run Mao in the Ethereals. We are going to move the Mao in here and then slot in the Sanctuary Relics. And we're going to go back into the team 7 and fix this mess. I can actually also use the cauldron for this, or I can also use the crit for the stun. So yeah, it doesn't really matter, we can also go with this. And then for the last team, we have a lot of teams available. There's a lot of new heroes that came out, and you can make so many new teams now. I can make protectors, I can make the phantoms, I can make a lot of teams. Maybe I will remove one of the Mystifiers. But yeah, I can just make this team basically and be done with it. I will use Isis in the front line because she is a really beefy girl. And I can either slot in a Monarch, or rather Albert, or I can slot in a Phantom that's a deviant. I don't really have a Phantom that's a deviant. Let's see about Monarchs. I think I will play Albert then, because I will get 4 Avengers, which is basically far better than 3 Avengers, and the Ascensionist is a really nice passive addition. 3 Monarchs and just missing the Deviants, which I don't really care about in this team. We are going to use the Avenger Relics, and we are going to use the Python's Mirror. I often run Python's Mirror with the Mavis, which dies, but this time around I'm going to use this. And we're obviously just going to slot in a damage reduction relic artifact, because I don't really like my heroes to die early on. And yeah, that's about it really. There's a lot of teams that are available, but this is what let me reset this. You can basically reset the screen so you have easier time seeing. And let's see, what do we have left? We have, okay, Lee. Unfortunately, Lee is a good hero, but he doesn't have seasonal synergy like Daer-chan, for example. You can go ahead and use Daer-chan easily in this season if you don't have a lot of heroes, as well as Lysandra or Lilith or Alice, Wukong, Bahamut. Yeah, I have a lot of protectors that are viable. I could possibly make Protector team instead of this team. Let me try. So it would be Wukong, Amaterasu, Bahamut, Gin, and Karnak. I don't really like that. I think I would have to use Victoria for it, which I don't really have currently viable. So pretty much just this version of the teams I'm going to run with. Now this team, actually I can run Protectors, so let me go ahead and do that, because this team is not that good. I think Protectors are far better and that they will do better job than this team does, and we will position it like this. And since we don't care about that, we want to run this relic because it will trigger the cauldron swap multiple times, and then we want a reset relic, which will just reset the relics and let the cauldron run one more time. As for the HP increase, we don't care about that. We care about the burst, which we will go with the burst artifact and therefore have a burst. We have no new available relics. I'm not sure if I can slot in anything in here. I have sarcophagus available, so let me go ahead and use sarcophagus in here, and then we will just move this relic in here for the Doom, for the Avengers. And now since we have another Doom relic available, I'm not sure if I can slot it anywhere. Probably not. I really like this relic from the Doom, so I'm not going to. Okay, we have this. Yeah, okay. We will just use the leftover relics into this team and call it a day pretty much. So yeah, those are the teams that I have made currently. I'm not saying these are the best teams, just giving you a look at how it looks like from my team building. It's not like a serious super focused team building, it's just making various teams to have for the clash and hoping they perform so other team members can copy. Yeah, that's about it. I will go ahead and play the tournament now and see you in the results. And here are the results of the teams. So there's quite a few teams that have failed me. And so here are the teams that made it to the top, or rather to the 18 wins. It's the most obvious team you'd expect. So pretty much just Arcanist Mystifiers, Arcanist Avengers, Arcanist Dooms, and then the Monarch Mystifiers. Surprisingly, I did not expect that, but they apparently made it. I should also note this enemy clash is not really the strongest lobby currently. There's one more stronger lobby that exists currently, so these opponents are not that strong. They're like second strongest lobby. There's C, which basically took out all of my teams. No other player really did that. So apart from that, it's pretty solid. All the teams you would expect to get 18 wins, they did get the 18 wins. And so here you can see that my Protectors team lost to C's weird version of Lamia team. And yeah, here I lost the two Valiantors, but they survived anyway, or rather I revived them. So yeah, this is where I lost my Mystifiers. The C's version won, but he has insane pets, more insane than me. He has insane stats. So I think his corrode was just stronger based from the battle that I just viewed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Mystifiers and the Protectors are the only teams that actually struggled to win. So yeah, if you want to adjust, feel free to adjust. And that's basically just how I did my teams, and see you in the next one.